Good morning, dear students. I hope you all are in good mood and high spirits. Last time we learnt about simple, present and present continuous. Today we are going to learn about simple past tense and past perfect tense. Simple past is not at all difficult for us, but we get confused when we are faced with past perfect and cannot give correct expression to our thoughts that we want to transmit to the listener. But it's not at all difficult. Always remember, dear boys and girls, that difficult is a word found in the dictionary of fools. Now let's first start with a question or a thought. When do we use simple past? We use simple past for a completed action with a definite point of time in the past. For example, last week I went to meet my grandparents in Jaipur. I started to learn English when I was in class 3rd. I played football in my young age. She learned dancing with the start of her childhood. I met her only yesterday. Now repeat after me. Last week I went to meet my grandparents in Jaipur.
Last week I went to meet my grandparents in Jaipur.
I started to learn English when I was in class 3rd.
I started to learn English when I was in class 3rd.
I played football in my young age.
I played football in my young age.
She learned dancing with the start of her childhood.
She learned dancing with the start of her childhood.
I met her only yesterday.
I met her only yesterday.
Now again, let's look to another side. We also use simple past to express a habitual action in the past. The Hindu widows burned themselves with their husbands. We never drank tea in our childhood. Daughter-in-laws never sat at the side of their mother-in-laws. In the village, women never wore footwears before elders. They had to walk barefooted. The fathers never touched or loved their children before the grandparents. Women always kept their faces covered before the elders. Now repeat after me. The Hindu widows burned themselves with their husbands.
The Hindu widows burned themselves with their husbands.
We never drank tea in our childhood.
We never drank tea in our childhood.
Daughter-in-laws never sat at the side of their mother-in-laws.
Daughter-in-laws never sat at the side of their mother-in-laws.
In the village, women never wore footwears before elders.
In the village, women never wore footwears before elders.
They had to walk barefooted.
They had to walk barefooted.
The fathers never loved or touched their children before the grandparents.
The fathers never loved or touched their children before the grandparents.
Women always kept their faces covered before the elders.
Women always kept their faces covered before the elders.
Now let's come to another side. We use simple past tense before since and for or ago. It denotes a length of time till now. Now listen to me. I haven't seen you since the last Sunday. She is down with fever since last Monday. I waited for you for a long time. She is playing sitar for a long time. It's long ago when we met. It's long ago when the Guptas ruled over this country. Now repeat after me. I haven't seen you since the last Sunday.
I haven't seen you since the last Sunday.
The sixth time. She is down with fever since last Monday.
She's down with fever since last Monday.
Again sixth time. I waited for you for a long time.
I waited for you for a long time.
Time is not fixed here. She is playing sitar for a long time.
She's playing sitar for a long time.
Time is not fixed here also. It's long ago when we met.
It's long ago when we met.
Again, time is not fixed. It's long ago when the Guptas ruled over this country.
It's long ago when the Guptas ruled over this country.
Time is again not fixed. These are just a few examples to bring home to your mind the main points to remember when you use the simple past tense. Now let's come to past perfect. We are coming to now past perfect. We use the past perfect to denote an action that has already been done or completed or happened before another action took place. This example that is normally quoted or used will shatter the confusion from your minds. The patient had died before the doctor arrived, or the patient had died before the doctor came. Now you can well understand that an action had already happened. The patient had died. You reached the spot late. The verb reached expresses past tense when already one past tense was used to inform that the patient had died. Note these two words, reached and had died. As such, one action or event had already happened before the second event took place. Had died in the first event in the past and reached the second event in the past. Therefore, we can say that in a past perfect tense, there is always a first event before the second event takes place. I repeat again, there is always a first event before the second event takes place. Now, again note the sentences telling you about the past perfect tense. Please be attentive. The train had left before I reached the station. The rain had stopped before she arrived. I had finished my work before Mohit came to meet me. The patient had been ill for 2 days when the doctor was sent for. The meeting had started when I reached the office. Would you come and see me after he had gone? We left for home together after the bell had rung. My mother served me food after I had washed my hands. The marriage ceremony was performed after the bridegroom had arrived. The class had already started when I reached. Now please speak after me. The train had left before I reached the station.
The train had left before I reached the station.
Now please note, in this sentence, first past is train had left and second past is reached. So it becomes past perfect tense. The rain had stopped before she arrived.
The rain had stopped before she arrived.
In this sentence, the rain had stopped is the first past tense and she arrived is the second past tense. As such, the sentence is past perfect. I had finished my work before Mohit came to meet me.
I had finished my work before Mohit came to meet me.
In this sentence, had finished is the first past tense and Mohit came is the second past. As such, the sentence becomes past perfect. The patient had been ill for 2 days when the doctor was sent for.
The patient had been ill for 2 days when the doctor was sent for.
In this sentence, the patient had been ill is the first event and when the doctor was sent is the second event. The patient first suffered for 2 days and then afterwards the doctor was sent for. Now next sentence. The meeting had started when I reached the office.
The meeting had started when I reached the office.
In this sentence, the meeting had started is the first event and the second event is your reaching office. As such, it becomes past perfect tense. Would you come and see me after he had gone?
Would you come and see me after he had gone?
In this sentence, after he had gone is the first past and would you come would be the second past. As such, it becomes past perfect tense. Next, we left for home together after the bell had rung.
We left for home together after the bell had rung.
After the bell had rung is the first event. The second event, your leaving home, took place when the bell had rung. As such, this is past perfect. My mother served me food after I had washed my hands.
My mother served me food after I had washed my hands.
In this sentence, I had washed is the first action, you were served food is the second event. So, the first event took place before and the second event took place when you were served food. As such, this is past perfect. The marriage ceremony was performed after the bridegroom had arrived.
The marriage ceremony was performed after the bridegroom has arrived.
In this sentence, the bridegroom came first. The marriage ceremony is the second event. As such, this is past perfect tense. The class had already started when I reached.
The class had already started when I reached.
In this sentence, the class had already started is the first event. You reached is the second event. As such, this is past perfect. Dear students, I think now it's very clear in your mind that in a past perfect tense, an event happens first and then the second event takes place. As such, one action is already completed before the second one takes place. These events happen only in the past. As such, we can say when first past tense and second past tense get together or be together, they make a past perfect tense. I think it's clear to you now. Now please look into your grammar book and form sentences of your own depicting simple past and past perfect tenses. Please write 20 sentences and put your exercise book before me tomorrow for checkup. Thank you, dear boys and girls. God bless you all. Have a nice day.